Not until they saw the paternity test report did the younger brother and his wife realize with horror that the boy in front of them was not their biological son at all, and the conspiracy they had plotted for 18 years had not only long been seen through by his elder sister but had instead landed them in her trap. It turned out that not long ago, after learning that the woman was going to transfer the company to her son's name, the woman's father quietly took the child to the countryside to meet his younger brother and sister-in-law. They tricked the child into believing that the woman had taken a fancy to his intelligence back then and wanted to keep him for herself, so she sent the younger brother and his wife to a remote countryside and forcibly seized the child. Naturally, the son did not believe their one-sided story when he heard this, but the younger brother and his wife said they could take a paternity test. With that, they pulled out one of the son's hairs to send for testing. Only then did the son, half believing and half doubting, plan to go home and ask his mother. However, the younger brother said they could not alert the enemy now. They planned to wait until the son inherited the woman's company, then announce the son's true identity, and drive the woman out of the house at that time. Little did they know that their plan had been clearly seen by the woman through the surveillance cameras, but the woman did not expose them directly. Instead, she held a grand banquet and transferred the company to her son's name. This was because as early as 18 years ago, when the younger brother and sister-in-law faked their deaths, leaving behind a pile of debts and a newborn child, the woman had seen through their conspiracy to use her to pay off debts and raise the child. So she had long planned everything and was waiting for them. Sure enough, as soon as the son inherited the company, the younger brother and sister-in-law came to confront her, denouncing the woman for seizing their child back then. Seeing this, the woman immediately pretended to be extremely shocked and questioned them if they were not supposed to be dead. Only then did the younger brother and his wife proudly tell her that they had faked their deaths back then to trick her into paying off their debts and raising their child. Hearing this, the son could not help but question the younger brother and his wife. Hadn't they said earlier that the woman had forcibly taken him away? But the younger brother and his wife pretended to explain that they had owed a huge amount of debts back then, and although the woman had the ability to help them repay, she refused to give money. They had no choice but to come up with the plan to fake their debts, and they never expected to accidentally get the woman's company now. With that, the younger brother and his wife started to incite the son to drive the woman out of the house. Seeing the shameless faces of the couple, even the audience at the scene could not stand it anymore, and they all denounced them for being ungrateful. Upon hearing this, the younger brother flew into a rage immediately and said that his son was in control of the company now, and if anyone dared to slander them again, they would be the enemy of the company. At these words, no one dared to accuse them anymore. However, the woman smiled and questioned the younger brother how he could be sure that the son would listen to them, but the younger brother said confidently, a biological son would certainly listen to his parents. Just then, the hospital sent over the paternity test results. The younger brother immediately held up the results proudly to show everyone, but when everyone took a look, they were instantly dumbfounded. It actually showed that the son and the younger brother were not related by blood. The younger brother thought that the woman had tampered with everything. However, the son stood up and explained that they had long known about the uncle's conspiracy, so they had been putting on a show with his mother all along, and he was actually the woman's biological son. Upon hearing this, the younger brother and his wife looked completely disbelieving. After all, ever since they had forcibly separated the woman from her first love, the woman had never been in another relationship again. Where on earth did she get a child? But just then, the woman's